but we have someone whose only mode of communication is sign language. So joining us also on Zoom is Mrs. Helen Beyoku. Mrs. Helen is a professional counselor, and amongst other great things that she is also the executive director of Deaf Women Alive, EY. Mrs. Helen, thank you so much. You will be joining us on using sign language, but with an interpreter. Mrs. Helen, our question to you is simple. Just take us into your world. Someone whose only mode of communication is sign language in a world where most of the people around you do not sign.
Okay, so when we talk about everyday living using just sign language, honestly, it's a mixture of good feelings and bad feelings. Reason being that to today, sign language is yet to be recognized by Nigeria as a country, as a right and as a formal usage in the country. Honestly, no one truly understands the sign completely. Remember, we have the Igbo language, we have the Hausa language, we have the Yoruba language, and other languages. So, sign language is also one of them. Myself, as a user and a deaf woman, I use sign language since 1993 when I became deaf. You remember, being deaf is an unexpected plan, and also one thing that we need in communication is sign language. And in other homes, there are parents who give birth to deaf children, and their first means of communication is sign language. For example, I have 4 children. People wonder, how do I or myself and my husband communicate with our children? What are the challenges? What are the things that, how is it going to be? How will they run the home? What sound will the children grow up with? For example, when I had my first son, when he cries at night, people wondered, how will I hear my baby cry? So these are one of the challenges I face as a deaf mother. My my son's children could communicate with us, their parents, and sometimes already they could demonstrate, they could give gestures because they already identified their parents as deaf because they already understood that their parents cannot, hear them. When I remember the one time when my babies were crying in the midnight, in the middle of the night, and I didn't even hear them. But as my babies were, they understood that my mother isn't hearing me, and they had to struggle, they had to turn, they had to try to make movements, and that movement alerted me and I woke up. So that means there is a way to identify the parents. Our children become sign language users. All my life as a deaf, I use sign language to communicate, to cry, to complain, to express happiness, to express all types of expressions. Sign language is a means of communication for the deaf because honestly, if I as a deaf person do not raise my hands to sign, my disability is not seen. My disability is not obvious. It's not made obvious. So it is until they me and they see that okay, I'm not hearing, or and they see that I have to raise my hand to communicate. That's when deafness identifies my head. So when I'm cooking, sometimes sign language is also interrupts multitasking. For a young the radio when I don't want talking. But as a sign language user, I can't be cooking and also listening to another person talk because I use my eyes to hear. I use my eyes to see what I'm cooking. So that means I would have to do one thing at a time. I have to do one thing at a time. So multitasking can be user to make it accessible and usable, and girls, even the men can